If you're interested in Procreate brushes or Procreate palettes, we've got two amazing bundles for you. The first includes over 2,000 brushes, while the second boasts over 280 palettes. Use the discount code PRO50 to enjoy a 50% discount on your purchase. Find the links to both bundles in the description below. Let's dive back into Procreate.
Hello guys, welcome back, and in this part of the video we're going to talk about some essential here. I'm gonna briefly explain them the best of my abilities, how I understand them correctly, but yeah, we're gonna start here. So if you want to go back to your gallery or to see some of your old artwork, you can just click this one, the gallery. And if you want to go back to your artwork, any of these, you can just click them. That's pretty much it. And let's take a look at this part of the tools. So these are the brushes, all the brushes. Procreate comes with the pre-built brushes that you could use. The brushes I usually use are monoline and mostly the sketching and the calligraphy and airbrushing. These are the most common brushes I use when I was starting, because I was like trying to figure out what's best for it. But on the later part of what I'm doing, I actually started buying some interesting brushes I saw online, so you might want to do that too. But first of all, you just have to, learn what you want to do. But these are all the brushes you can find. Smudge is a kind of like in between, so it does not paint, it does not erase, but it just blend your paintbrushes or any images. Actually, it just blend in and all that. I don't really use them, but it's there for you to use if you want to. And the eraser is technically is definitely an eraser. You can customize them actually. Even the smudge tool here, you can customize it to your liking. You can use different brushes to erase, so it might give you some interesting stuff or interesting result. You can play around with it. And the layer here, the layer is kind of a lot here, but we'll try it piece by piece. So the layer, you can rename your layer by just doing this right here. So you can rename it to like first layer. This is when you're working with a lot of layers, you might want to rename them. And also one trick that I want to show you is you can rename it using your iPad right here. But to do that, you can actually go to your setting, Apple Pencil right here. You want to go scribble, you can just turn on the scribble right here. Layer, you can rename your layer just like this. So you want to name it label, and it should go label just like that. You can erase it just like this, and you could just put it whatever you want. But I don't really use it because it's kind of like I don't really like to use it. So let's go back to setting, and then I'm gonna just turn it off. I like to use it just my keyboard right here, but it's there when you want to use it. So yeah, and right here, beside renaming, you can click this part or any part. Actually this part right here, you can rename, select, clear the layer just like this. You can alpha lock, mask, invert, reference. And if you click the end right here, it's actually the blending mode. So on the first one is the opacity, so you can reduce the transparency or the opacity of this. Will give you some good result as well. These are all the blending mode. This is kind of not a beginner's guide, but it's there for you to play with it, learn with it. But that's pretty much it. To add layer, you can just click this one right here, and you can add as much as you can depending on the layers that you saw when you were creating your canvas. And you can select layers by swiping to the right. You can group them by this here. You can delete, and also you can merge them by pinching like this. Let's just do some real example here. I'm gonna delete all the layers just like that, and I'm gonna just create a circle, and I'm gonna do this. And let's say I put some branch right here, and I'm gonna make a new layer just right here, And if I want to combine them, because I'm running out of layers, I can just pinch them right here. And I could delete them, duplicate them, or lock them if I want to. And also the background color, you can select your background color here. So it's pretty much kind of easy way to change your background here. You can also toggle to different colors, but that's the background color right there. This is pretty much, you cannot delete this. It's just, you can disable it, but you cannot really delete it. It's not a layer, but it's just there forever. And for the color palette, this is kind of interesting here. So this is the disc, like a color wheel. You could play around. So this is the hue. You can change the hue right here, and once you change the hue, it changes the tint or the saturation and all that good stuff right here. So that's just pretty much it. You can also get your previous color here. So if you want to change that, and then you went to a different color, just like this, you go back to color. You can always go back just like that, and you have your history here. You can clear that out, and you can yeah, these are your palette. Let's go to here before I explain the palette. So if you want to go classic, this is just a hue here. So you change the color. This is the saturation. So it just goes like this to unsaturated to saturated. This is the lightness. So it goes to the brightest and then to the darkest mode. So that's pretty much it. Harmony is this where you find a good interesting contrast of the color. So if you want to go complementary, this is usually the one that I usually use because they always go hand in hand with the color. They have a good contrast with each other, so I just use complementary. But you can change the mode to, you know, analogous. Like they have like pretty much similar tones. So if you want to go here, this is kind of a warm tone. If you want to go here, this is kind of like the colder tone colors. So that's pretty much it. You can do experiment here if you have a good rhythm. I just go with the complementary most of the time. And then for the value, you can pretty much have the value if you have a specific color from like specific projects. So I usually get the hex code here. It's pretty easy. You can just tap and paste, compared to when you have your RGB, you have to input all of it at about one by one. So I just get the hex code and I'm good to go. And for the palette, this is interesting. So you could create your new palette right here. You can also get the cards here. It gives you some kind of name. Procreate names it. So yeah. For the compact, I usually create my own palette right here. Create new palette. So if you want to use this here, you can add. You can just stop right here. You could pretty much add anything basically, and then you could share, duplicate, or delete them. So this one, just gonna delete this one just for a show. And another one here is you can get some interesting color palette. Let's say example, oh, hold on one sec. Let's say example, you have your camera right here. I'm gonna take this, actually, I'm gonna get this plant right here. And I'm gonna get some interesting color palette just by tapping from the this plant right here. So I can just, you know, tap and it goes directly right there. So that's just one of the nice feature of Procreate. This is kind of a recent update or recent features that they just put in, which is pretty nice. You can also get it from a photo, maybe this one right here. It gives you also all the color palettes, so it's pretty much auto-generated. It's kind of freak me out sometimes, but it's there for you to, you know, use it if you want to. So that's pretty much this tool right here. Yeah, let's end the video here, but on the next part I'm gonna explain this part right here, the adjustment, the selection, and some of the actions or these tools on the left side of Procreate. So I'll see you guys there, and thanks.